Hey, here we go. Welcome to Track Feedback. It's Wednesday, March 16th. And I just realized and remembered the clocks have changed differently. So our clocks already changed here in the US. So it's noon my time, and I guess it's 11 a.m. for people in the EU. So sorry for that. I didn't actually consider that other people had to change their schedules by an hour. Hopefully we can all hang out and do some music with the people in the future and the people in the past. And I'm bringing it in with one of my little tracks in playing from QuickTime right here. Getting my screen all rigged like usual. And there's our Spectrum. Couldn't think of the word. Tharp. So before we kick it off, if you're watching for the first time, and I've been posting this in Facebook, so sometimes people from Facebook come in, they don't know what I'm talking about when I say the Mix and Texture member site. This is where you can find free presets, hands-on session lessons, Ableton Live courses, and things to help you with your production. So when we're talking about EQing, or we're doing track feedback and we're analyzing the frequencies of a sub bass compared to a kick drum, and we're using the spectrum analyzer, and we're talking about all these things, with compression, EQ, multi-band splitting, and everything. This is a site where you can learn these things. So I have a whole course called How to EQ Your Tracks, where you learn about analyzing the numbers you see on the EQ dial, the feelings you get from listening to the music, and how to connect those two things so you can EQ your sounds and make them sound clear and big and clean and crisp, and not muddy or piercing or shrill or flat. Or, we use these words to talk about music, but at some point you have to learn how do those words of the feeling of the sound, how do those actually connect to numbers on your EQ frequencies? This course is all about that. So I'm just going to point that one out, and then we're going to move on. It's at courses.mixtexture.com. And a lot of these have free teaser modules where you can click in and get some background lessons on like the prerequisites you need to learn before you take the course. It's like actual learning. So be aware of that when I talk about it. That's where you find it, courses.mixtexture.com. And for anybody who is loving what we do and wants to support, you can go to patreon.com/mixtexture, sign up for $3 a month, and become a supporter for these live streams if you are learning a lot from the stuff we're putting down. And I hope you are, because we are definitely kicking out production tips, tricks, techniques. I use this group feedback thing as a way to teach production techniques. And then at other times on the YouTube channel, we do specific other lectures on like how to build a DJ set in Ableton or how to apply compression on a specific sound. So just pay attention for all that stuff. And I really appreciate all the support from everybody who's signed up already. Matt, yes, that's a Steve Knotts bass line in this track. Unique quirks and traits with music. Thank you. That's nice. Speaking of Matt Schultz, oh, we got one, Continuous V1, new one coming up. So, look at that. That was a 3-minute and 42-second intro. Little track called The Generator that I'm working on. I'm going to get that out to 6 minutes long. What do you think of this lead instrument right here? Oh, bow, bow, bow. That lead sound? I just want a yes, no, a thumbs up, thumbs down, because it's one of those tracks I made and I grabbed that sound first, but it doesn't have to be that instrument playing the lead. This one. And then it drops out. So I might do some sound design on that lead melody instrument. If you're watching the replay, I'll give myself a timestamp coming up at 1:50. Where's that breakdown? The question is, do you think I should change this 203? Do you think I should change that instrument to be a different synth or a different sound or a different tone? Because it's kind of like a stock preset I just threw in there. Now I'm used to it, so I can't tell if it sounds really weird to other people. So that's the kind of feedback I like sometimes. It's just a specific question about a specific part of production when the rest of it is cruising along. Oh, Matt, the lead sound is lush. The square wave thing. Yeah, because it's like a simple instrument. I think it's from the Ableton analog instrument with just a filter on it. But when you're doing your own production, you hear it so much that you get used to it. You have no perspective and you can't tell if it's like kind of dumb or if it's good. I know everybody feels the same thing, so thanks for the feedback. And Levy Mudhouse is here with a little remix or collaboration going on, which is great. I'm glad to see you're here. And how's your house building project going? Got all these questions. I wonder how Ian Waters is doing, because he had a crazy-ass epic birthday last weekend. And Oliver Specht had a birthday, so happy birthday if OSB is in. Let's get into this Continuous V1, Matt Schultz, brand new track. What do we got? I love that right away. Wow, wow, wow. the level feels low. I guess that's a pre-mixed kind of thing. Hey, Tim, I got your track for today, too. Glad you're here. So, Matt, right away, that one cymbal sounds a bit loud compared to everything else, Matt. But let's see what else comes in. Nice kick drum. In fact, let's get a look at that. Wow, that's a great sound. All right, DJ Waters is here. We can start. I really like what you're doing with that sub bass bloop mixed with the kick. That one. It's so good. It's almost like another kick drum, but it's just a deep, clean sub. Not a long duration. And it happens in between the kick drum beats. These little clicks and the percussion and stuff are cool. I still feel that one ride cymbal is just too loud compared to the others. Hey Stuart, how you doing? No, it's not a new start time. It's just my clocks. The clocks in the US, we changed them at a different calendar date, so we're on the springtime 1 hour difference already. Sorry about that. This synth is cool. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try this. Taking the low bass EQ down a little bit and turning up the volume. Because in general, the synth group and the percussion I wanted to hear a little louder. The kick and the sub, the low end is beautiful by itself, but compared to everything else, it's like it's a bit too big. So I wanted to raise up the mids and the highs. That sub bass is so cool. Boom. It's like a triple. DJ Waters, the cymbal doesn't work in this track. Well, I mean, I think it works. It's just, it's so loud that it's like drawing way too much attention every time. It's okay for the sound of what the instrument and the rhythm, the position, just down a bit, you know? And I like it for dub techno that there's like a sound that happens kind of once in a while. Every 4 beats, like slow pattern, keeps the groove nice and slow, so that's okay. Sub bass with ghost notes. It's hard to get those sub ghosts showing up quickly, but you did a really good job with the low end mix on that. Wow, we're at 5 minutes already. I'm totally just like chilling in the track. Nice background voices, sound effects. Nice and simple too. Right here, that hi-hat is like very clear. Just keeps it going. Wow. The synth group is good. I like the mix of all the synths. So basically for this whole track, the kick and the sub group, the low end group, I would take it down like 6 dB relative to everything else in the mix. There's a little percussion sound I wanted louder, so I'll go back and review that. And then taking that one cymbal, right, that guy down a bit. And the background noise is cool. Yeah, so the clicky stuff, it's like all those little, not the snare taps are good, but the other little ones, they're really the little like mini clicks. I could hear those a bit louder. So cool track. I think if you do one more mix, this will be ready for next week. So EQ back to flat, and let's I always like to play tracks from the people who are here. You gotta show up. So let's check this out. That's a deep kick drum. Gotta turn up my headphones. Oh, those clicks are from a pen? Like a tick, 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 like a... And you're working with, Tice, you're working with Jürgen on this one? You're the vibe? Yeah. More cool synths. Wow. That was a cool riser. It's kind of squirrely. Interesting kind of a driving feel, like digga-dig, digga-dig, digga-dig. Okay, I'm gonna put up a high shelf EQ for a little more brightness, and I know we're on SoundCloud, so we're losing a little high end. I like that bass line sound that's like a guitar pluck. Digga-ding, digga-ding, digga-ding. It's a little bit overlapping with the chords. Whoa. Whoa. Those two are both very close to the same mid-range sound. So you might want to EQ that bass line actually higher, like take the high frequencies of that bass line and boost those up a little bit, like at 1000 or 900 or 2000 or something, and get that like rhythmic pluck kind of sound happening, so that the bass line has actually got a brighter sound, and then those chords can occupy that whoa, that like low, 400, 500, 600 hertz range. That's the exact sound I was saying. If you bring up the high part of it, you know what, let me go back a little bit. I'm gonna sweep around and see what we have in that sound. Here's around 900. So you could pull out the like ticky-tacky kind of sound of the bass. There's also another sound that didn't sound good at that frequency. It's like, wow, wow, wow. So that long one we don't want to boost. Good risers. Okay. That rolling bass line does not work. It is a rhythm you gotta get. You have to catch it kind of, yeah. I hear it like dick-a-ding, 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 dick-a-ding. Oh, I forgot to close Discord. Maybe that's why we're getting a couple little tiny glitches here. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to close Discord right now. Yeah, mid-range pad is nice, for sure. I like this part. And it works well when the bass line is simple and going in between the kick. Yeah, that bassline sound, it's almost like you need a gate or something to like cut out the rhythm to make it more distinct, right? So right there, there was a mute where it went and you could hear like specific slices. Before that, the rhythm I want to feel is like dick-a-dunk, 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 dick-a-dunk. But if you listen to the actual sound, it's kind of crowded and it's like blah, 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 blah. It's not like a totally clear rhythmic thing. You hear how it's kind of like blah, 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 blah. So I don't know how much detail you have on that sound. If it's an audio file, you can just edit the audio file with like, what I would do first is I would take that bass line and actually convert it to an audio file and then go in and write some volume automation to make those rhythms really distinct. Right in here. Because the micro timing is not totally transferring. It's like did, but it feels like, you know what I mean? So if you could somehow take the audio and cut little volume envelopes in there to make it like super specific. Or if that is coming from a modulator or something else that you can control at the synth level, get it so it's like a little more like rhythmically crisp, and then it'll transfer the rhythm pattern. Maybe Matt said maybe shorten the note length, release time. Yeah, I'm not sure where that bass sound is coming from, if it's still at the synth MIDI level or if it's at an audio file where you need to work with the audio. Because here when it clears out to be just an upbeat in between the kick, suddenly the beat feels more simple. And this part, the bass line, could use some kind of strengthening to get more like with the beat. Other than that, I'm not feeling any noticeable problems. Like at the beginning, we talked about whoa, whoa, that synth being a little overlapping the bass area. And I think you could fix that by working with the upper frequencies on this bass line. And maybe take those ticks and raise them up a little bit. Here's EQ flat and high shelf EQ. Flat, boost. So a little bit of a lift on the high frequencies, which I guess is totally a mastering thing, doesn't have to be a production thing. And other than that, the vibe is great. And I remember all your mountaineering tracks from last year, like they do have this sense of like they go up kind of. It's like a uplifting sort of thing. Well, I don't know how to put that into words, but it's definitely working compositionally, song structure, the sounds, the choice of sounds, the mix is mostly there. So what are you doing on this? Are you guys, I'm not sure what stage of production you're at or what mix this is, but this could be done and ready for mastering with a couple tweaks. So good job on that. I'm gonna close the tab. Now we got Mindbender with a final mix of a release that's coming out. I'm not sure what label, maybe Defora or maybe on, I don't think it's on When Disco Goes Wrong, but let's see what we got. EQ is back to flat. Okay. I always got to turn his down because the beats kick in loud. Yeah. Wow, coming in with the claps. That sounds really big in the mid-range. Like the bass is heavy, the kick is heavy. And then when the vocals and synths come in, they're like, whoa, like up here on top of the beat. Yeah, the rolling Mindbender synths. Sounds like the tape stop on the voice. Oh, good, Tice. Let us know when you have the mastered version for release so we can help you promote it. That's a cool snare drum roll. Kind of came from the top and went down. Turn it up. Yeah, the vocal sounds really nice in the mix, and the pitch thing is like wow, wow. Interesting. I like that hi-hat that came in 2 minutes. Good synth. Boop, boop. That's a nice fuzz on the bass. Yeah, yeah. Taking it up. Nice. Morton, if you're watching on the replay, this is great, man. It's feeling done. Mix is solid, stereo width is solid. I love the mid-range and the highs. The whole thing just feels like everything is loud, you know, but it's not, nothing is competing against something else. Yeah. That synth feels a little toasty, right? A little distorted. And what's our basic bass rhythm? It's like there's like a breakbeat in the bass line. Yeah, there's nothing to say. This tune is basically done. Got the drops, got the build-ups, got the ear candy, got the synths. And there's a little shuffle on there. Tick, 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 tick. Yeah, tweak the filters. What the hell is he doing? Oh, I like what these synths are doing. Arpeggiators. It's like we're going to another dimension. Hi-hat at 520. I love it when one little closed hi-hat comes in, just like elevates the beat. Sometimes that's all you have to do to freshen up a beat that's getting a little stale, is just dropping a nice, bright, closed hi-hat on top. Solid right here. Let us know, Martin, when this comes out. Let us know so we can get a copy and play it. Tap out the tempo, 124. I like this part. It keeps evolving and like the synths are slow, like they're always doing the same thing, but they're evolving to kind of different voices and stuff. Keeps it fresh. And now we're coming in for a landing, 6 minutes, 40 seconds. Perfect. Good track. Yeah, Morton, this is done, man. Done. I think you said that in the comments that you did a quick master on it yourself, which is maybe why it sounds so good. The ear candy ending. And the little fade out with some white noise. Very nice. All right, is Oliver with us? OSP is on a week off vacation. So we're getting a creative streak. EQ back to flat. Here we go. Yeah, nice track. Martin gets some claps, the mind bender. Oh, I remember this track last week. Gonna check if there was an update note on the update. Okay, a little high-end EQ, some volume and frequency with the chords. All right. And that was the chord we were talking about, I think. Whoa, that one. That chord, yeah. I know, I guess I started an hour early for all you all. Sorry about that. Should have caught that. Ah, Shepherds, yeah, cool. I think that chord sounds better. It's more mid-rangey and brighter. It seems like you took some of the low mids out. And that could move too. That's a chord a sound that doesn't have to be at exactly the same EQ point the whole time. You could have the whole thing basically as a bandpass filter that like moves through the mid-range every time we hear the chord, like from, you know, a high point and a low point where you can hear the whole thing. This is good. Tonally, frequency, like not too bright, nice and soft. Yeah, the clicks are perfect, the dub chord thing. And the off-tempo beat, there's so much like polyrhythmic. Definitely has the right name, Asylum. See if I can push this up a little bit. The bottom bump is coming through really nice. Is this one 125 also? I like the sparkly high end. It sounds really nice right now. The way that sound grows and goes away, it feels like water. Like waves, like slowly go bow, 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 bow. And then slow, like the pace of that sound coming and going is nice and slow, like a large body of water with the waves coming up and going out. Yeah, the sub layer. Aha! This one's ready for mastering. I think this one's done. Seems like the mids could use a little bit of mid-range compression, you know, overall in the mids, like a mastering thing. What is that? Hold on. There was a little squiggle. 423. Great ear candy. I don't even know what that was. Like, it sounded like a little bit of a flangery kind of a squiggle. And I almost get a double time feel on that. It definitely draws you in. Come here, come here, come here. That. Yeah, yeah. Something is happening inside my head. In a good way. Or in between the headphones, I guess. Alright, so today is kind of like listening to really good tracks. We're not giving a lot of feedback on this, except that it sounds good and sounds done, sounds ready. Yeah, Shepherds, it feels like it's out of sync, but it isn't. It just kind of overlaps and then goes out and then comes back in. That's great. Big reverb on there. Low end is perfect. It's got the bump and the whoa, 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 that bass line. And the little high frequency stuff. That's me on the EQ. Nice sparkly high end, like. Tune is done. OSP is about to get some claps. Yeah, that's good. That got the swell came up, but it wasn't too much right here. That whole high mid area, it got loud, but it didn't feel overloading. So that was really good. This bass line, and there's something like a ambulance or a police car siren, fire truck, like vaguely, you know. Nicely done. Nicely done. Good luck beat matching this one. There we go. That's excellent. That's great. Definitely ready for mastering and done. So I hate to close the tab, but I got to close the tab. Not sure. Danet's. Okay, we got Tim. I'm going to get him up. And we got another one. We got Shepard. So I like to play tracks from people who are here. Tim Laws. EQ back to flat. And here we go. Hello? Okay. The first 7 seconds got me. Nasty bass already. Damn. This sounds good, man. Have you been practicing or like what's going on? This sounds like the same like world as the Mindbender track with the vocal like really nice and big on top. That bass line is nasty. Okay, right here I would cut the voice. Maybe. I mean, the bass line came up and became like a melodic activity. That voice was cool. Right here when the bass is big. Okay, I'm gonna try and say what, there's one phrase he's saying, I think he's saying, I want to feel like or something like that. That's overlapping where the bass is really like doing a lot. So what I'm trying to describe is a place where the bass line is like, whoa, 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 and then the voice says something, and then the bass says something, and the voice. So they trade back and forth. So let's just go through this little section again and try to pin down a little bit more of where to cut. Because I'm not saying to totally cut the voice out right here, but just to use it a little bit less. So from 130, here, bass, and then voice, and 37. That was perfect. From 37 to 41, it was bass, and then the voice came back. 45. Yeah. That synth shit is crazy. Sounds like a dub siren, one of those like... Makes the top of my head itch. Oh, where's our Spectrum? Sorry. Coming in the build up, all right. So far, so good. Nice. Cut it out, make a little vocal drop. Yeah, Matt, I see your comment. Something with the bass layers. I mean, there's a lot of happening in the low end, but the kick is still clear. This is a little chaotic with the bleeps. Yeah, 339. So there's like the bass moving around a lot and the vocal and the high frequency bleeps all kind of like competing for attention in the center of the track. So I think that would be a good place to strip out some of the layers and not have them all like right at the same time. That was a cool little break. What was that? Chicka chicka. Chicka chicka. 354. That was cool. The bleeps. I think the bleeps are cool, but not at the same time as the voice and the bass doing really growly stuff. Maybe save the bleeps for the last part of the track for like a new sound that we didn't hear before. Okay, that's good. The breakdown is totally simple. Good variations. Perfect, yeah. Right here, just a simple bass line and the bleeps. No voice, no growly bass. Yeah, so okay, let's just roll this back. So like around here at 3 minutes, don't have those high synth bleeps in yet, because it sounds almost like a... almost like a weird carnival music. Yeah, those bleeps are too much in the beginning, but at the end, they sound better when you can focus on them by themselves with the bass line. And your little rhythmic transitions are sounding good. Got some glitch happening. Definitely has a stereo image going on. I'm gonna check out the phase meter in this. Then look at those beats, it straightens up nice and mono. Cool, I don't think I mentioned the drum mix is spot on. All the beats are sounding really good. Look at that. Give you what you need. So basically, you have all the elements of a cool track and just need to thin out some of the sections so we don't hear, like save the good stuff for later and don't bring in so much of the high stuff. It's okay here in the build-up, And especially at 240, when you drop that drop, the fewer elements you have when that beat drops, the harder it's going to feel. So kick drum, sub bass, and the beats, the hi-hats and stuff, could be all you need right there to just be like, oof, super deep. So there's a sound that goes wow, wow. You could mute that section or mute that sound and then wait 8 bars to bring it in. And then right away there's that chirpy one that's like, also save that sound for later so that when the first drop happens, right after that build up, there's like 4 bars at least, or maybe 8 bars of just the bass line and the beats and the hi-hats and stuff that'll feel like really, really heavy. Frequency sing with a separation. Yeah, there's a part where you need to watch out for the high mid stuff. Those mid-range sounds aren't all on top of each other up here. But it's not painful in the ears. So cool. So Tim, work on that for Saturday. Just keep the arrangement you have is good. The song length and structure and everything and what's happening is cool. Work with the layers so you don't have quite as many layers when the main drop happens. So for a general rule, if we can extract a production rule, everybody remembers what happens right before the drop because it's a build-up. And then when the main beat drop happens as a peak, it actually works better to strip out things and just have like a really simple low-end bass drop and then build it back up with other layers to create length over time with variation is technically what we're doing. And that goes back to the monastery singing a cappella, creating variation, filling up time by doing different shit. That's what they're talking about. Variation and repetition is what it's all about with electronic music. And I like the track. There is a little bit of a question about the bass growl. You said that you had it separated with sub and an upper layer, which is great. So I wouldn't mind hearing a little more where there is only the bottom sub layer with the kick drum without the top layer. I'm just curious about it as a mix thing. And if the top layer, well, the bass is busy, so just make sure that the kick drum and the sub bass are divided enough in their own space that when you get it mastered and have those compressed and turned up, they don't become a mud puddle. But I don't think you have too much of a low end problem. Just a lot of bass. And then what was the first comment we had with the vocal and like around here? Yeah, right around 111, there's a fast bass line melody that sounds like doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, something like that. It's hard to pick out the notes exactly. We don't really need to hear the notes. It's just a... That might be a place to use the upper part of the bass line to play the fast notes and just like mute some of the MIDI notes in the sub part so that the sub bass isn't trying to play all those notes so quickly. But that's getting super picky and detailed. Good track. And overall, I'm impressed that for a first version, or edit 6, okay. For the first time hearing it, your production level has jumped up to here since, 2 years ago. Tim's been putting stuff in the group since we were on Facebook doing track feedback, and your overall production level has really come a long way, so I'm proud of you for that. Now, who's this character? Sheppers. EQ flat. Yeah, man. And the bass. Nice sound effect, nice and wide on top. It's nice and deep and low. The low end doesn't have that impact of like the poof, poof, poof. It kind of feels almost like just a bass note, like whoa, whoa, whoa. So that upper layer, Nice break. I'm giving it a little bit of high frequency to see what's in there. I think it could use some more highs on that raspy sound. Good example. Gap drop, only bass, sounds awesome. Oh, Matt, you like the kick rumble? Okay. I feel it as deep. That hi-hat, 219. Okay, specifically, yeah, let me roll this back. This one, right there. There's the top part of the kick. That's the one that I would like a little bit louder for more of like the thump kind of thing, or maybe a little bit more low frequencies in that upper layer. Maybe, because I'm in headphones. Ooh, that was cool. I want to hear that again. Dun dun taka taka. Good reverb swell. The tambourine is perfect with the rumble. And there's a little peep in there. That sounds so good. I don't have any mid-range or high frequency issues at all. The whole mix overall sounds good, and the percussion and the beats and everything. But my first impression, I gotta say, was that the low end needed more of a transient thump inside of the umba, umba, umba. And that can be debatable. I'm not saying that's a... Like, could this one have a little more bass, maybe? Like an impact, you know? Let's hear that again on Saturday, and that looks like it's pretty new, right? Deumos version 1. Maybe play with the kick drum a little bit, but I'm in headphones and I'm not on a big system, so I can't say 100% for sure. Not sure. Speaking of not being sure, Danetz. And he was asking about the bass line notes for this new one. Let's see what we got. EQ flat, here we go. Everybody knows Danetz right away. Boom, 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 boom. Matt Schultz, mix is fine like it is. Okay, thank you for that, because I always do like to hear other people's opinions. Shepherds, yeah, like the transient. Yeah, the upper layer of the kick drum felt kind of light, you know, and I wanted it to be more of like a tight, hard kick drum that you can feel as a bump inside of the boova, boova, boova. Okay, that crash was a little bit too loud. Minor detail, but okay. I like the synth thing. That's a good synth rhythm. That's a perfect candidate for a little fast delay and reverb on the synth to make it really kind of more spacey. I love it when you guys start writing in German and people are like, where's the translator? Die kick darf klatschen meint er. I don't know if I said that right, but... Adam, this is jamming so far. I would bring up the synth layer. Don't dip it down. Oh, the odd note is gone. Okay, so I'm on version 2, right? There is an update. Coming with the hand clap. Big claps. Okay, this one sound started coming in that was like a string sample. Yeah, that one. It's too soon for that. You don't need that before 2 minutes, especially going right into a breakdown. So I'd hold that sound out. Oh, quite good German, thank you. I decided to just spit it out without thinking about it, and maybe that's what works. And now that sound can come fading in. So don't bring it in too early before the breakdown. It doesn't need to be there yet. You don't want to give away your secrets too soon. Yes. Yeah. Good. Right here. Yeah, we can play Scrabble in German, sure. I have a feeling I'm going to end up buying all the beers if I lose that one. Funky sound design in this one. The sound design is really grabbing me for the bass synth. Whatever you're doing with that voice is working for sure. Now, this second time the cymbal sounded good, right? .303 cymbal sounded good. Earlier, was that exactly the same? Where the hell was it? Okay. Compared to... All right, so the cymbal is exactly the same. At 3 minutes, it sounds perfect. At 30 seconds, it sounds way too loud. So bring it down in the beginning because there isn't enough music around it for that cymbal to sound right. Good vocal presentation. Chops are synchronized. Oh shit. Bring in the kick drum. Let's look at that. What just happened? It got deeper. So you drop the new kick drum layer to make the bottom heavier, yeah? And the vocal goes up into the delay. So when that new kick drum came in, that had the feeling of like a new record or something because it was very noticeably different and louder. We're kind of in a B section right here. All right, I'm getting ready for a breakdown. Or the vocal has been, the voice chops have been in for a long time. It might be good to chop those out, to remove the vocal part at some point. Because we've been hearing that vocal chop for a long time. Now, 525, after that delay run, I would mute the vocal sample right here. That delay is awesome, but don't bring it back in at 525. Just let it be beats and instrument things. There's a cool one. Like those other sounds will breathe a lot better and have more space if we don't have the vocal chop all the time. I think my comments today are all about just muting layers and making space by letting sounds go forward. Do you think it's a sub layer? I'm gonna go back to that part with the kick. Because let's go back to the beginning here, right? Like in the whole early part of the track, I thought, okay, the kick drum's all right. I didn't feel like there was something wrong with it. That kick is all good. But then... .340. 333. That heavier kick comes in. It still sounds good, but it makes the beginning of the track feel kind of light now. But you know what? We don't have to have a dogmatic rule about the kick drum being exactly the same throughout the whole track. That was something I learned early in production. People said, don't change your kick drum. Like once you have your kick drum in there and it's mixed, don't play a different kick drum or swap it out or something like that. And I think it's okay to have the kick level change as long as in the mastering you're mastering it for the loudest level so that the loudest, heaviest kick sounds good. And then the other one can be like leading up to it kind of. Because as a listener, if I'm in this track and then that second deep kick comes in, I'm like, whoa, heavy. So I think the emotional effect can be cool as long as it's not causing problems. In other words, if I'm DJing and I play that track for the first time and I don't know the kick is going to jump up louder, I don't want to like blow a sub or something because I have it cranked already and then the kick comes in so much louder that the track like redlines and pushes static or something out into your system. That's where you have to be aware of it. Let's check out how we get to the ending. That synth is my favorite. This part's great. And then overall, there's a couple spots where you can remove the vocal chops and give us like 8 bars without it, so that when you bring it back in, it's fresh again. And the crash is cool, but at 30 seconds in the intro of the crash, we're not quite ready for it at that volume, which would be an automation thing to bring the crash down earlier in the track. So we got OSP and King Droid with Stewart, right? Let's do this one because we already did one OSP track. And I should probably play one person's track all at the same time, but I didn't do it today. Matt Schultz, there's always so much going on everywhere in Donat's tracks. Always impressed he makes it work without sounding too busy. Yeah, I agree. There always is a lot going on, and I try to give feedback that's places we can thin it out just a little bit to make it flow. And EQ flat, cool. Interesting. Wow, that's not the percussion I was expecting. That sounds cool. Oh, Oliver's here. Perfect. So we'll get your track on next. And we did the first Asylum review already. Good stereo sweep. I think the drum reverb might be a little too big. The percussion feels a little bit far away because there's so much reverb. You might want to take the reverb down a little bit and bring the drums closer. And something happened here. Okay, so far low end is clear. Oh, Stuart, good. At a minute, that bass that comes in, the lowest note of the bass line is too low. Yeah, when the bass goes to that super, super low note, it's like you can almost hear the bass waves are like too slow, you know? Oh, Oliver, I started an hour early because I'm on a different time zone, and our clocks in the US, we changed our clocks already, like last week. So for me, I'm an hour into the feedback, and I didn't realize, I forgot that you guys are on a different schedule for when you change your springtime clocks. Stuart, what I would do is take the lowest note of the bass line and shift that MIDI note up an octave and just play the higher note. Because that low one, wow, is way too low. That E down at 40 hertz, just take the lowest E MIDI note, bump that MIDI note up an octave, and the bass line will translate better. I like the bass line notes. Oh shit, Adam, we just did your track. It's almost like a dub kind of bass line, like a person. Percussion has a cool feel. Boom, boom, boom. Spacey. Yeah, there's a lot of good sound happening in here. And then if you get the drums a little more dry and up front, that synth reverb can be nice and big, and the synths can be in that space, and the drums will be like right up against you. It's a beautiful stereo field in the synths. Yeah, the synths are moving around nice. I really like the bass line notes. Solid. Compositionally solid. So that riser might be a little loud right here, yeah. There's so much going on in there. And then there's that bass line coming in. Yeah, too much sub on the bass. Yeah, Paul, you could possibly cut out the percussion in the break. It's so heavy, the vibe. I could hear a total mix of that bass line with house beats on it. And this is one where the kick drum could have a little shorter duration just to make space for more of those bass notes because the bass is such a big character. So a tight kick that's a little less duration, a little less release time or something on the kick drum. Main thing we got to do is with the bass line, I think you understand what I was talking about. It comes in on a low E, there's a whoop, and it's so deep, it's like the synth, you can almost hear the individual cycles of the wave, like, so get that bottom bass note up 1 octave higher, and that will pull together the low end with a shorter duration kick drum. Percussion, a little bit more dry, a little less percussion reverb because the percussion feels far away and we want it to feel closer up front to allow all that spacey synth work. And the synths are beautiful. There's a lot of bleeps and like, it's nice when the synths all kind of congeal into one world of synth. It's happening. Plucks and the clicks. And the synths are kind of overlapping with a percussive feel. So it overall has this like really clicky, like it's rhythmically interesting, cool composition, deadly bass line. This track is gonna be cool. So see if you can get a mix, some revisions done for Saturday and bring that back and hit me in my robotic face mask with it. U7 OSP. And everybody, I'm so sorry I started an hour early for all y'all. I didn't mean to do that. But here we are. Conga right at 270. That's like conga frequency. And I say that because a lot of times you'll hear us talking like, oh, 275 is all mud or 250 is all muddy. But for a conga drum, that's where it speaks. That's where that sound is great. So frequencies are not always the same. It's not always bad at 600. It's not always bad at 270. It depends on which instrument is putting out that frequency. Yeah, the OSP percussions. Okay, we finished beat matching the new record. Now we're in the breakdown. The old record's gone. Waiting for the new one to drop. Put this into my mind in a set. Good synth. Nice, nice. Has like that tribal house feel. Boom, boom, boom. And this is like minimal compared to what we've been hearing earlier today. Just beat, one synth. That shit is cool. That could be louder. All those little ear candies, please louder. Psytrance effects on top of tribal house. Is that what people would say? And more reverb on that. It could be totally wet and loud and squelchy swamp swamp effects. Ooh. All right. Nice drum mix. Perfect timing. I was just thinking of a melody sound. It's exactly the right time for that to come in. That high one could be, do something else with it, a little longer or more of it or something. That percussion is so sick. Let me just go back to 337. When this high synth comes in, this one, could that sound have a longer duration and have a filter move around or just stay for like a longer time? Because that was the exact right moment for a melody to come in. If that could just hold longer or do something up on top or even play a melody or something like that, there's space in the track for that event to happen exactly right there, says me. Matt Schultz chords need a little movement, so they wander around a bit. Yeah. We talked about this earlier today, those mid-range. Get a bandpass filter going on that and just have the bandpass move to a different place on every one of them or something. Slightly, could be cool. Which is also like moving a notch filter for the effect. You know what I like is the SVF, the state variable filter, where you tweak the filter frequency within a small range and then change the filter shape from like high pass back and then to low pass, and like it makes a cool effect. And the ending. So this one coming in with sick ass beats right from the beginning. And it's really nice and empty with tons of space in the mix. The main thing is get the little like side trance sound glitchy things up louder with more reverb, because those could be nice and wet. And for me, and that's something that I think should happen, that in the track, those should be louder. As for the thing at 337 melodically, that's kind of a creative decision. That's so good. And other than that, I don't have very much feedback. It's coming in good. And like Matt said, move that. Oh, you know what else? That vocal thing. Maybe you could do some sound design with that, because that sound is like there rhythmically and it sounds nice and it's a nice feel. It's like a human kind of touch. But I think it's been the same every time we hear it. So maybe sonically, if you could do something with that, if you wanted to go in and develop that sound a little bit. But not wrong as it is, and great feel, especially that. There is one little whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. That last little riser should be louder. And this beat, boom, boom, boom. Solid low end, really, really good vibe. I'm amazed with the quality of production coming through, people. Just 8 liters reverb and the track is done. Yeah, vocal could come up, Matt. Yeah. So Oliver, you're doing some great shit. Also, happy birthday. Hope you had a nice birthday. Now, oh, we're done. So 1:20. Yeah, the time shifted. I'm going to go back to the generator just for some background music. One that I got to develop and everything. And I was planning to do a record label meeting after track feedback today, but apparently I'm an hour off from everybody else. So do you guys want to meet now? Like I need like a 15-minute break to just get a coffee and stuff, but who's available to go into Discord and have a video meeting? Because I want to just talk a little bit about graphics and getting our promo stuff, kind of get some containers ready. But if you want to wait till later in the day, we could do that. So let me know in the YouTube chat if you want to start in like 15 minutes or do you want to wait 45 minutes? I'm not sure how many people are on exactly different time zones and stuff. And honestly, I didn't do a ton of work on the label prep stuff in the last week. I've been doing tons of things. So it's not going to be like a very serious, heavy meeting today, just a short little thing to talk about some organizing stuff. But let me know in the YouTube chat what you think about if you're available to be on Discord. Graphics, let's wait 45 minutes. Paul would work for you right now. So for me, it's 1:20. Need to eat something. 15, unavailable later. Okay. So Todd, what I'm going to do is just basically show the Google Drive folder structure and point out where we're going to be uploading stuff. And the next steps are going to be to ask people to start creating their producer bio in text, getting photos, and then uploading them into Google Drive. And I'm going to show people where to put them. Tice not available. You know what? We don't have to have a meeting this week, honestly. I can communicate with the Discord chat or channel and Trello and basically let you know where stuff's going to be happening. Since you guys are listening to me right now and you're on YouTube right now, I'm just going to tell you what was going to be planned for the meet. We're not going to do a meeting because everybody's all over the place. I fucked up with the hour timing being off from time shifting, time zone, spring, whatever. So here's what's going on. We are starting a Bandcamp compilation. We're going to actually prep 3 compilations so that when we release the first one, the next 2 are in the pipeline and ready to come out. We're going to organize them by theme so that people can play the compilation and get kind of the same tracks. So like house, techno, down-tempo beats or whatever. I'm not sure if those are the exact order, but you know what kind of music we make in the group. So we'll have it organized so it vibes the same way. And really what I'm realizing is that at the same time as taking music from the group and publishing it, what we're doing is developing a producer network. So for anybody who missed last week, it's really exciting that, we built this model in track feedback where you make tracks, you share them, you give other people comments, and then you get feedback. And now it's become just normal. That's like the obvious thing. And I'm really just so happy with how that's been working. And we're just basically taking that to the next logical progression. So you're going to release a track, you're going to share it with the world, and all the other people who are in the group can become promoters. So we're not just publishing music, we're creating a promoter network where everybody on the compilation is going to promote the compilation, clearly. So just in the same way that you would share a track and then give other people feedback, you can share your own releases and help promote other people's releases. We'll be able to use the label to produce not only compilations, but EPs, singles, albums from all of the people in Mixitecture as our family members. And then whenever we put up a new release, I would like all of us to be able to go into our record label assets on Google Drive, and there's going to be a release, and you'll have square graphics, videos, audio samples, interviews, photos, and text from that producer. So let's say it's Levy Mudhouse coming out with that collaboration with Jürgen. Let's say you guys release a 2-track EP. We can collect all the promotion tools that you see on Instagram, like a little square video that's 30 seconds of the music, and then maybe there's a YouTube video interview, or it could be on Instagram or something. But if all the people in the group heard your track, gave you feedback, they already know what it's all about, and they're excited for it, then all of us can go into Google Drive, grab those promotion tools, and share them to our own social stuff so that your release gets a ton of promotion. And we can have an event calendar. Now I'm just describing the parts we've talked about from several meetings. We can have a Google Calendar that says, this week we're going to promote this interview. The release has a date over here, and all of us together can go promote the same stuff on the same calendar. So it's like coordinated, and the messaging goes out all at the same time. And we have the power of collective messaging, like a media network almost. And I think it should be pretty easy to do. I know it makes sense that we all are willing to help promote each other and share with the tasks of doing that. So checking comments. And then it's going to be up to me and some organizing on the back end to manage the calendar and the content folders and make sure we have the systems ready to back up everything. Let me know if that makes sense. I guess we just had a quick little meeting where I'm just kind of talking about stuff. I need to know what you all understand or don't understand, or if you have questions. But since we're about done with the video, if you have questions, please put them in Discord in the Mixitecture label section. You know the channel. And I will also describe what I want you to do and give you links of where you can do it. And then we'll schedule a proper meeting for next week. Shepherds, thank you. That sounds cool. And Matt Schultz, thank you for putting in work on the graphics. I like what you did with the M, coloring the M and the shadows and the effects and the colors. The font, I think, should probably change. Personally, I like all caps, I guess. But whatever. I mean, it doesn't have to be the font I like. I just think the font could be different. We could get some different options and pick from them. And we'll schedule a proper meeting for Wednesday, 22nd or 3rd. And again, thanks for everybody for your help and attention and being part of what we're doing. Last but not least, if other people have been watching and you're curious about what's going on, you want to get involved, go to patreon.com/Mixitecture. You can drop in a $3 per month donation just for the videos and live streams where you get all our production tips. Or if you are ready with making a bunch of tracks that you want to get done and get mastered and get released, join the Track Feedback crew, $25 a month. This is basically group coaching, where we all help each other. We have professionals in the group who are doing record labels and mixing studios and mastering and stuff, and we will help you get your track ready to put out with those little tweaks that make all the difference. So that's patreon.com/Mixitecture, and from the member site, courses.mixitecture.com. This is where you can come in for help with sound design, song structure, and mixing with the hands-on lessons that I build, where you can download a guided Ableton project that takes you through production techniques with audio instructions, examples where the automation shows you what to do, which is my favorite thing, and then hands-on activities where you learn by doing it. So instead of watching a YouTube video and flipping over trying to rebuild the lesson on your own, you actually get the lesson in Ableton. You can close the internet, not get distracted, focus with a capital F, focus, and learn by doing it and play with it and have fun with the sounds. And everybody knows you learn by doing things and playing with them, really. Nobody wants to be at a lecture taking notes on how to produce. You want to tweak some knobs. So that's what the session lessons are all about. And they are there at courses.mixitecture.com. You can even get a free one at the Intro to Session Lessons product. I call it a product because that's how the site is structured, but this is a freebie, no credit card required. You click in, sign up, put in your email address, and you can download the live pack. There's me talking about it. Mr. Melvis, black block, capital letters. Yep. And for the final ending of today, it's very important to have a good relationship with the people in your community. So let's just take a little lesson on that.
Okay.
I've already
DJ Waters.
I'm running on a short fuse, and if I have any more, I will be seeking legal advice.
Okay. I'm sorry, John. I'm going to be quite
Legal
mad.
advice.
I'm not having it, because I've already got a sister in there who is
This poor
ill,
guy.
What do you want me to do?
and you have been told to keep the noise down. I will not have it,
You've been told.
What,
and I'm not having it again.
what do you want me to do?
I do not wish to speak about it ever again.
All right, I'm
Never
sorry.
again.
I'll be quiet,
And I
okay?
tell you now, the whole street will know about it if I have any more trouble.
Okay,
whole
I'll be
street.
quiet. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I've had enough.
Okay.
Had enough. You know what? I had that. I was gonna, if we got a SoundCloud ad, I was gonna start talking like that guy and be like, SoundCloud ads, I'll not have it. We try to have a little bit of fun. It's unfortunate that some people get angry and have to yell and scream when bad things happen. We're gonna wrap it up for today. Thank you all for hanging out and watching. And remember, we all have a super positive effect on the community around us. All you gotta do is think about music, feel it when you're walking around during the day, and radiate that vibe, and at least make it a slightly more neutral place, if not making it a better place. That's Ian's neighbor, yeah, with the Fred score. Cool. All right, that's it, everybody. I'll see you in Discord. Thanks for hanging out, and thank you for everything. And that's it for today. Pew. Bye.